seems to be screaming in a dream. Is it a nightmare or is it sidetrack?
Sidetrack, we're getting sidetracked. Yes, we're getting sidetracked. What were we talking about?
Yung podcast!
Wait, are we recording already?
Yeah, we were just about to start.
Should we start that again?
Again?
Nah, it's fine.
Side.
Track?
Where? Hello, I'm Bree.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Lila.
So we're here with another freaking Ainana episode. This is the last one, don't worry. So we'll be talking about Third Beat Part 2. If you haven't watched Part 1 yet, or actually any of the first few episodes, I highly suggest you do because it won't make sense otherwise. And the summaries is there. So if you haven't watched Ainana, just go. Just watch.
Leave.
Okay. Okay, so
Leave now.
I actually want to start the discussion with Metso because we've been dealing with Metso all this time, and it's we finally got to see Sogo's family issue come to life. So what are your thoughts about Sogo and his family?
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
This is probably controversial, but I do not feel pity for Sogo because eat the rich. But I do.
I excuse me. Sogo's my Yoshi.
I know, but like I'm proud of him for like going against his family because it's his dream to do music.
Mhm.
But bottom line is he's still rich.
I mean, technically he isn't because he's been cut off. He has to like beg his dad for money. So I
Yeah.
would argue that he is not rich, technically.
Thank you for defending my baby. Pero honestly, that whole scene, ay, nag-jump in ako. Tinatanong ko kayo, tapos nag-jump in ako.
Sige lang, go lang.
Pero it's really nice to see Sogo, like, trying to, parang he's trying again for his family.
Mm-hmm.
Pero, I know Lila has very intense feelings about this, but Ryu was very out of the line, with that whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
He shouldn't have forced Sogo. It's good that Sogo's like chose for himself to do it. Pero it's still not good for Ryu to force him to do it. And Tamaki did good in defending Sogo,
Mm-hmm.
but I do feel bad that it's actually making him feel lonely about it. In a sense na Tamaki did a good job defending Sogo, pero it's also not good for Tamaki to push his feelings to Sogo. So basically, they shouldn't have interfered with Sogo's
Yeah.
family.
Basically, Sogo is stuck between a rock and a hard place.
And
Yeah.
I think
Like,
that Tamaki understands where Sogo is coming from because he also has family trauma.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
Ryu doesn't have that. So basically, if you don't have family trauma, shut the fuck up.
We've we've
exactly.
we've talked about this so much in like previous episodes
Yeah.
about not forcing.
Yeah, especially since you have no idea how it feels like. You have no idea how it's really like to be in that kind of family dynamic.
Mhm.
So don't try to speak for them. Don't try to say na, oh, like they're still your family. Like, fuck you. No?
I mean, like both Ryu and Tamaki are not like entirely wrong or entirely right in the situation. I think if Ryu like tackled it in a different way, kasi okay lang naman na sabihin mo na parang suggest na what if you want to like talk to your family again, ganyan ganyan. Parang do you want to talk to your family again? Do you want to like try to make
Yeah.
things amend? Parang it's okay to like suggest things or like talk about it and stuff. Pero
But
kasi
the way you did it was like, you should do this, you should do that. Kasi ganito, kasi ganyan. Parang,
yeah,
Because it's your
parang he's
family.
parang he's trying to like speak for Sogo na parang you're feeling like this, parang ganon ganon. Like instead of like
Putting
saying,
words into his mouth.
yeah, exactly. That's the
Yeah.
right term. So, and Tamaki as well was putting words in Sogo's mouth as well.
Yeah.
Even though they do, parang they both have like family trauma and stuff. It's still not good to like force your views on other people
Yeah. Because
because
like
then they're
Ryu
still
and
different.
Tamaki kind of like have different viewpoints, very like different viewpoints
Mm,
on family. Kasi sobrang opposite ends yung experiences nila. With like Ryu, he has like this wonderful family. With
mm,
Tamaki, he's been abandoned. He's been in the foster care system basically his whole life.
yeah.
So, and that gives like a different level of trauma to
Mm-mm.
Sogo. And so they're both just imposing their own views on family and how things should go when Sogo's situation is entirely different from theirs.
Mm,
And they both of them didn't really care enough to ask how do you feel?
mm.
Like how do you feel about all this?
And I think Tamaki got really triggered as well from what Ryu said about family because it feels like an attack on him as well.
Ano yung, kung maalala yung sinabi ni Ryu?
Na you should talk to your family because they're still your family, ganyan ganyan. Parang
Ah,
saying na at the
that
end of the
triggered
day,
me too.
family kayo. So, tingin ko kaya
Whatever
tingin ko,
bullshit,
yeah.
whatever bullshit they did to you, it doesn't matter because that's your family still.
Mm,
And tawag dito, yung part din, I think yung sinasabi mo yung na-trigger din si Tamaki. I think it's also the fact na he didn't really, parang I'm not saying na he's wrong, pero he didn't really like try to talk to his father as well when they met again,
Mm-hmm.
if you remember. So
Si Tamaki?
yeah, yung 'di ba brining yung father niya dun sa ano, sa
Oh, sa
studio
talk
and stuff.
show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he
yeah, yeah,
didn't
yeah.
try to like listen to him and stuff. And like Ryu's here saying na you should try to talk to them because they're your family, ganyan ganyan. While
No.
Tamaki, he didn't try to talk to his father, and when he tried to talk to Aya, it didn't work out, right?
Yeah.
So I guess that also became a trigger to him. Anyways, with Sogo's father, it's interesting how all of these like corporation dudes are similar yet different from one another. Like the way that they deal with certain circumstances. It's funny because like if you see like rich people, even in real life, I feel like they just always deal with money. Like deal
Yeah.
with problems with money.
that's why I
Cause
don't
like
trust the
that's
rich.
their shield. That's their shield kasi like that's the only way they know how to win in life.
Yeah, it's so twisted when Osaka
Yeah.
Papa. I'm going to talk
Yeah.
like Momo. Osaka Papa was like telling his assistant to make those twisted stories to make Sogo surrender.
Yeah. Yeah, I put that in my notes na he's so obnoxious na Tamaki didn't really hurt the assistant. But the dad is like, he punched you, right? He hit you, right? He did this, right? You're injured, right? So we should
Mhm.
call the police. Na he's so gaslighty and it's so annoying. I wanted to punch him in the face.
And
Not gonna lie.
you can see with the assistant, he didn't want to do it
Mm.
Yeah,
as well.
he
But
felt guilty.
he needs his job.
Yeah,
So,
I
Yeah.
can't really fault him for that.
Yeah. Like there he's also like a victim in a sense.
mm,
Yeah, and it's really good. Actually, to be honest, when I first saw this part, and Tamaki and Sogo decided to come together and like go. I was having like a bad feeling about it, but it's really good that Tamaki was there.
mm,
Since Sogo would most definitely just give up and surrender easily to his father, so
mm,
it's nice
Yeah.
that he had an anchor with him since Ainana was his like stepping stone to growth, like Sogo.
Mm.
particularly like emotionally. So it's really nice na, especially since Tamaki's his partner with
Mm.
Metso and Ainana. So it's good na he had that anchor with him going there. And Tamaki, I was like very shocked at how emotionally parang yung character growth niya
Mm.
emotionally. Like I don't think the Tamaki from season 1 would say these things.
Yeah, I
And
i-ask ko pa lang sana yun. Do you guys think if this happened in season 1, Tamaki would be like that?
no, I think he'd probably like think for like act first before thinking.
Mm.
He'd
Yeah.
probably start like throwing punches almost immediately. Pero it's parang it's also a bit sad na Sogo doesn't, I guess he does know na he does know na Tamaki is growing. Pero in a way there's still like a part of him na thinks of Tamaki as this like kid while Tamaki's just like growing. And then, so, alam mo yun, di ba he was pretending that he didn't know what's happening, ganyan, ganyan. And Sogo's
Mm.
like trying to protect him. No, no, okay lang yan. I'll just go to the job, ganyan. Just stay here, just, don't move, ganyan, ganyan. And Tamaki's just like, okay, I trust you. And then, when he went out, he just immediately, like, talk to the father and stuff, and the father was like, oh, so you understood what we were talking about. Like even Sogo didn't even realize that Tamaki was just acting the whole time.
Mm.
That's such he I feel like Tamaki has very high EQ.
Yeah, he
um
does.
right, so
He's just shit at communicating.
yeah.
That's the low IQ part.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
And speaking of Tamaki, when he was telling the fans na Soga and him, they're not best friends, but
Mm.
they will continue to work together. It's just, I feel like that was a good, parang it's such a realistic approach to their relationship. Because
Yeah.
obviously, they're not gonna just be like bestest of friends. I gotta
Mm.
like family, ganyan, ganyan, knowing the two of them. But like, they are working on their partnership and they both want to continue working together. So that
Mm.
is, parang, it made me feel good.
I felt
Yeah.
very proud of Tamaki during that moment
Right?
because he's not lying, but
Mm.
he's not saying it in a way that would hurt everybody.
Yeah. It's just realistic of him. Parang it's the most realistic way of Kasi if he says na, oh yeah, we're best friends, it's parang some fans would definitely like go,
Notice. It would notice. They would
yeah,
notice that.
parang weren't they just fighting like before? Ganyan, ganyan. Do you guys have any other things that you want to point out with Metso and Sogo's family dynamic?
That's it for me.
Yeah, me too. His dad is just an asshole. That's it.
Don't worry, Metso will have more.
I'm just hoping that they don't go back to fighting. That's it. Like fighting really big. I just hope that doesn't happen.
But like I honestly it makes sense na it Metso's still ongoing kasi with their personalities being like very opposite ends
Mm.
of the spectrum, I'm pretty sure like in real life they're not going to be like happy, we're both happy now, ganun
No, I'm
ganun.
not expecting them
Yeah.
to be like best friends all of a sudden, but like they're
Yeah.
finally trying to understand each other. And
Mm,
I don't want them to go back to like having misunderstandings just
that's true.
because they're not communicating.
Don't worry.
I will not
But
believe you, you're a scam.
excuse me.
Scammer Bree, Scammer Bree.
I'm going to move on. So, since we talked about Sogo, my Oshi, let's talk about my other Oshi. Ay nako, na talaga ng trigger. Na-stress ako ng sobra. So, hanggang ngayon stress pa rin ako sa
Ang
kanya. Pero okay
pinakamasakit
na.
na nangyari this season.
So, let's talk about trigger.
Wag na.
The trigger arc. um, it's funny how I noted that Gaku in first beat when they were fighting in what's that, black and white, they were
Mm,
fighting in black and white, but Ainana won, and Gaku was like, we'll fight in a larger scale,
mm,
in a much larger scale, and they did with Mop.
mm.
So that was really nice to see. Although I don't like the circumstances surrounding Mop, but
Yeah.
I'm glad na they were able to fight again, and I'm glad na Trigger won because Trigger's my
They
favorite.
deserve that after everything they've been through.
Yeah,
That's so
that's
true.
true.
And seeing like Trigger and Ainana in just 1 year, kasi this all happened in 1 year, right?
Yeah.
Kasi kaka 1 year lang anniversary ng Ainana. Yung parallelism between IDOLiSH7 and Trigger was very interesting to see.
Mm,
Like, Trigger sang Secret Night when they first got introduced in the anime. That was also the first song that IDOLiSH7 saw Trigger perform in the concert. Like, that's the first song that they
mm,
perform. And IDOLiSH7 sang Monster Generation the very first time that they, parang yun yung first song na pinerform nila ever in
mm,
the anime as well. And Trigger sang Secret Night in a big concert with a lot of fans in a big stadium, while Idolish 7 was only performing with like
they
nine, in
were
front of like
busking.
9 people. Yeah. And then in 1 year, Idolish 7 was seen performing Monster Generation in front of a huge crowd in a big venue with the loudest applause.
Mm,
When while Trigger, on the other hand, was singing Secret Night in front of a small crowd.
mm. Their roles were reversed.
Yeah, exactly. And Kay pointed out now while Trigger was performing, I think Idolish
Yeah,
7.
yung billboard,
Mm,
which was also a scene on season 1 nung Idolish 7 was performing for the people in the rain. Tapos nasa billboard yung Trigger.
mm.
It was very sad to see in just 1 year.
Yun yung pinaka ano, it's like everything, like all of these things happen in just 1 year.
Mhm. It shows how fickle the fans are, as you pointed out nung nanonood
Yeah,
tayo.
Mm.
yeah,
It's the industry. What's scary about the idol industry is that you don't really know what's going to happen. You could be the highest, like the parang with Zero
Mm,
specifically. Zero's like the most loved idol. Everybody knows Zero. Even like other, like foreigners know Zero. Like
mhm.
everybody knows Zero. And then all of a sudden he disappeared.
Yeah.
We didn't know what happens to him. Trigger was the biggest parang growing idol group,
Mm,
and then all of a sudden a little scandal just like that, and then they're down.
yeah.
I think Gaku mentioned that parang we were at the top, and now that we've fallen, the only thing to do now is to climb up again, parang ganun.
Mm,
And it's really interesting to see kasi in a way they did have company benefits.
yeah.
And Yaotome Productions isn't like the biggest company out there, but they have power.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
parang I'm not saying na Trigger only yung they're only famous because of the company benefits. Obviously, they have to be talented enough
Mm,
to like
yeah,
maintain the
yeah,
top. Pero they didn't really start at the bottom.
yeah.
Parang even their debut single, if you guys remember from Vibrato, their debut single, they have a large scale music video na.
Mm,
hmm,
So they have company benefits, and now they don't even have that anymore. And I
mm,
feel like this is my personal feelings as a Trigger fan. I do think na Trigger did need this parang scandal
mm,
to have the character growth and group growth as well. So it did make them like closer to each other, and it cemented the fact that they want to continue working with each other.
yeah.
Especially since at the first in the first place, hindi naman talaga sila parang, like as Ten said in like
They're
first
business
beat, I think.
partners.
Yeah, they're business partners, not friends. So it's really interesting to see how he's now like saying I love you to
Mm,
both of them. It very heartwarming to see. Pero if I could choose, I wouldn't want them to go through the scandal. They didn't really need, I kakasabi ko lang na they needed that, but they didn't really need to go through that. Pero it's good na they're continuing to like grow, and it didn't, parang even though it was a big thing na they even, parang the media was trying to erase them
Mm,
in like public and stuff, it's still nice na they didn't give up on that
mm,
because they want to be an idol. And ito, I mentioned this in like first beat when I said na Sakura, Miyawaki Sakura and Ten, they have similarities with each other. I mentioned that. I've
I'm so
taken,
sorry. I'm thinking about Kura.
yeah, Kura.
Oh, Kura as in
Yeah,
Sarah.
that's her name. Yeah, that's her name.
Okay, that's why I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's Kura.
am I confusing myself? Yung pala tama pala yung assumption ko.
So I actually have a list of things na I feel like the similarities of na I wanted to point out. So they
Okay.
both work their hardest to serve their fans as an idol.
mm.
Like even with Kura, she has like very, because I'm not saying that other idols don't do this. They do. So please don't come for me like, oh, but this idol do this. This idol. I'm talking
We
about
know.
Kura
Stop being
specifically.
stupid. Please. Alam mo yung tweet na ano, parang Twitter's the only place where you could say like the most well thought out sentence, and then some bitch is gonna come in and say, what about this then? Like, no, that's a completely different sentence.
Exactly.
It's a different
So
discussion.
I'm saying
Yeah.
this for Kura specifically. So she has like very good memory, so she remembers her fans. Parang whenever they go to like fan signs, she's like, "Oh, you're ano ganto ganyan," and then they talk about like a certain thing na. Parang I feel like Ten would do the same thing. He definitely remember encounters with his fans. I'm not saying like all of their encounters, but I'm pretty sure he's gonna remember like
Memorable
fans.
ones.
I
Yeah.
think it stems from the Japanese idol industry as well, because they're
Mm,
more like towards the fans.
yeah.
Alam mo yun? Compared to
That's true.
like K-pop.
And they both exude that energy of fans are superior and should be treated the best. Parang
Mm.
ganon. I can see Kura doing the same thing as Ten. I'm not saying na Kura is like Ten na may camera presence siya and so on si Ten. Medyo ano na si Ten eh, a different creature na si Ten. Iba na talaga yung ano niya. um, pero Pero they both have like, they're both like genuinely na fans are superior.
They're
Parang ganun.
fan-oriented.
Yeah, yeah, they're both fan oriented. Parang Gaku kasi he also loves his fans obviously. Pero Gaku, I can see him like with other K-pop idols, as Kay mentioned na like the Japanese Korean idol difference. Parang meron pa ding boundaries.
Mm.
Ganon. Si Ten kasi parang feeling ko gagawin na niya lahat para sa fans niya. Parang pwede bang isipin mo muna yung sarili mo?
Siya yung
And
ano, siya yung nakikipag-parasocial relationship. It's not the fans.
And they both have the protective vibes. Yung, alam mo yun, parang Kura, she's doing everything with Le Seraphim specifically, right? Like, it's her current group, diba? You can see how much she's trying to protect her group mates as much as she can. It's not just her being the oldest. Parang it's also because she's been
The
in the industry
experience.
longer, yeah, the experience. And so she tries her best na her group mates would, especially with Unche, she tries her best na she still lives her life even though she's an idol, parang ganun. And Ten does the same
Honestly, I
thing.
can see that. I can see that because like Unche, as much as like she's an idol, she's living her life as if she's normal.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And with Ten as well, he did the same thing with his group mates. Like even though he's the youngest, he still
Youngest, yeah.
protected parang both of them as much as he can. He tried to like hide the hurtful things and carried that burden himself instead of like sharing it with Gaku and Ryu, which made them angry with that. So, that's a different story. Pero, ayun nga, yun yung nakalimutan kong i-point out no season 1. And it's nice na ngayon ko siya sinasabi kasi I had more context to talk about with Ten and Kura.
Remember when I said in the previous discussion na I feel like Tora would steal Ryu's image, and it did happen. I was right.
That still annoys me so much. Alam mo yun? Like, I really want to deck that guy in the face. Like, that stinky, greasy guy.
Honestly, I was laughing when you said that. It's like, that's true.
It's very obvious.
I can't really defend Tora that much kasi nothing really happened in the anime that would make me defend him. So I'm just going
He's
to
just
let you
an
guys.
asshole through and through.
That's not my words, by the way, guys. That's Lila's words.
Lila is the number one
He's still an
Tora
asshole.
hater.
Because
Uh,
he's annoying! He's
um,
fucking annoying! He's
Lila's
obnoxious!
Lila's opinions do not reflect the opinions of Sidetrack. Thank you.
Fuck you!
If she goes out, don't bring me with her.
We are not associated with Lila. Thank you.
Tara niyo!
If the Kara fans come for you, do not come for us. I've mentioned this before.
We're trigger before their downfall. We're
I
business partners.
reiterate. I will reiterate. Go to the website and read the vision and mission. Fuck all of you.
Business partners, not friends.
Oh my gosh.
May other things pa ba kayo?
Another thing I want to bring up is Anesagi. I feel like Anesagi deserves a lot of credit.
Yes.
She's hearing all these backlash for Trigger, and she's keeping it to herself because she wants to shield the boys, and that's really nice to have that kind of manager.
Nobody
And
loves
like
the
and like
boys
she
more than
didn't have to leave her job to help the boys, but she still did.
I love her character growth as well.
Yeah.
Compared to
She
season
annoyed me in
one.
the beginning as well. Yeah,
Me
in
too, me
season one
too.
she annoyed me as well. Like I wanted to slap her in the face. Like what the fuck? And then now I'm like I appreciate you.
Before I was like, I will protect Trigger. Make me their manager instead, you bitch. And now I'm like, nobody loves Trigger more than you. I adore you. You're our angel. So,
She really is like a fairy godmother.
That's
she
an example of fans being fickle. We are the example of
I am a
We're
good
no
example
different.
of that.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's just when it comes to Trigger, my heart just goes ploop. My brain just goes ploop.
Ganyan ako sa Rivale. Yeah. Rivale ult ako eh.
same.
I love Rivales, so I'm really glad na ult niya sila.
And they have the best songs.
They do. It's Yuki's
Yeah.
songs, so let's appreciate Yuki's songs before he murders all of us
Yes.
With a bat.
with a bat.
Murderous guys. No charisma.
Yung scene with the yung mafia dudes ni Rio, yung inaano niya, yung dinedescribe niya yung gagawin niya sa kanya. And mom was just like
Uh-oh.
confused na, you don't do that.
You don't do that. You're not even fit. You're so unfit.
It's always the guys with white hair.
you can you can see how good of an actor Yuki is. You understand why he's an
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah,
Him, Minami,
yeah.
and Yamato. You understand why they're actors when they use it in real life.
Oh my god, I still remember that poison thing na Yamato did.
Ah, Minami he in the future would also use his acting skills in real life. Actually,
It's always the actors.
it's always the actors.
Tourist Pause.
Hello again.
I'm back.
So this is Bree once again, and this is a tourist spot for a recommendation. And since we've met Zool, I'm gonna be recommending a song from Zool. It's called Sunrise. It's from their EP called Zenith. It was released December 2022. And no, not Sunrise. Zenith, all the songs in Zenith, I'd say, has a very different sound from the usual Zool, which surprised me so much. Kasi when they released like a trailer, not trailer, parang sneak peek, is that what you call it? A sneak peek of like all the songs in the EP. They announced that there's an EP from Zool, and then they showed like a sneak peek of all the songs. I was very surprised by how different the sound was by the usual Zool, and it kind of makes sense kasi Zool is in their syempre iba na yung vibe nila from the first time we met them, kasi the first time we met them they're all just like these assholes. I can't say that. They're these unruly kids that were hurt in the past.
Angry
And yeah,
chihuahuas.
they're angry chihuahuas. And now they're not. They're happy chihuahuas.
They're still chihuahuas.
Pero kasi obviously part 5 released and they're all happy na. All idols are happy now. So I think that's also the reason why the sound changed. One of the songs in that EP is Sunrise, which is the one that I'm recommending right now. Sunrise is the most different sound ever. No, una, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I heard Sunrise, I was like, oh, why is it so different? It's not what I'm used to. But then I listened to it more and more, and then I started liking it. And then whenever it plays on my Spotify, I just like stop everything that I'm doing and just sing along with them. And it has become one of my favorite
That's
Zulu
kind of
songs.
like saying you're used to them being miserable
Yeah,
bitches.
because they're very angsty. Like that's their whole vibe.
They're
They're
angsty
very angsty.
teenagers.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like,
It's just funny because that's not what I'm used to, and I'm like, so you're used to them being miserable.
yeah, because they are. That's their whole vibe. Like,
That's just a testament to how stressful this whole anime franchise is.
exactly. Like all of the Zool songs, like the first Zool songs, they're all very angsty, aren't they? They're all very angry. It's not even angsty. They're very angry in all of their songs. So like in Sunrise, they're very happy, and I'm not used to it. And it's like, if you look at the lyrics, it's mostly them like saying, "Are you ready? Or do you trust us? Like, come join us in this very happy journey that we're in." Kind of like that. It's like saying that the sunrise is painting the sky. It's a whole new world. It's a whole new thing. The sun is rising for everybody. Kind of like that. So it makes sense why it's called sunrise now that I think about it. So yeah, if I don't know if it's a good thing that I'm recommending Sunrise since it's a different sound, but since you've listened to the open oh wait, no, the ending song. The ending song for Third Beat Part 2 is Zool, and compare that to Sunrise, you'd understand what I'm saying about the different sounds. So yeah, listen for a happy Zool. And again, it's on Spotify. Sunrise, that is Sunrize, because they're cool like that.
That's
Sunrise.
their
Yeah,
Zool.
because they're Zool. So it has to be a Z. And yeah, thank you.
Tourist Pause.
So speaking of 10, this is an excuse to talk about 10.
Of
I may
course.
recommended IDOLiSH7 to talk about 10. So we had
Scam talaga yun, no? Scam talaga.
um, we had the twins arc-ish, introduction-ish. So we finally got the monster versus angel thing.
Hmm.
I have been waiting for that. Madami akong gustong sabihin dito, so simulan niyo muna.
Naalala ko nung lumalabas 'to, I was thinking of it, tas sabay kami ni Iori nagkaroon ng conclusion. That was really funny. It's like, and then nag-add din si Iori, sabi ko, Oshi ko 'to." It's like,
It was that moment.
it's that
It's
moment
not
I
his
knew.
talent. It's not his dedication. It's not his like craft or anything. It's the fact that you have the same brain cell.
Yeah, alam mo yung
It's that.
personality test na your bias has the same personality as this is, an evidence to
Good
that.
example.
It's a good example. Um, so, nakirpihan ako sa sinabi ni Kujo na yung chant, yung Elohim Chenes Chenes nga. Tas
Ah.
sinearch ko kung
Huh?
anong, he said, Elohim Asayim, I call upon thee. Sinearch ko kung ano ibig sabihin nun. It's God of hosts, God on high, I implore you. It's like, what the fuck? Why is this guy doing curses in the middle of a cafe?
He's performing a hex. He's performing a hex.
So that I love you, but it's not you. Get out.
This is not you. You need to wake up.
How about you, Lila?
Wala. I'm just. I need clarification. Who
Yeah.
is the angel and who is the devil or the
Okay.
monster?
Let me talk about my notes then. That's such a good transition. That is such a
Gago.
good transition. Okay, let me read to you guys all of my notes. So, the monster versus angel arc. So, Ten is considered an angel since from the very start he's always been very selfless. Like you could this might not seem to be surface level due to his personality. So, at first you might think na Ten's the monster and Riku's the angel because surface level Riku's like the innocent puppy and Ten's like this this dude with a different personality.
A
But
really, really unique and special personality.
yeah, you can see how he changes his personality depending on who he's with. Just to make them happy. So with Trigger,
Yeah.
he's this like center, like professional, strict, ganyan ganyan. With Riku, he's like the perfect big brother. With the fans, he's like the idol that they like. Whoever he's with, he changes his personality.
Mm.
And honestly, at
Yeah.
first, I felt like na maybe it's just him like it could potentially make him like a pretender or like a fake, but I think that's his actual
He
personality.
has people
Na
pleasing personality.
yeah.
He's a people pleasing
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah. Parang his actual personality stems from the fact that he just wants everybody to be happy.
Mhm.
It's not that he's faking anything na he's doing kasi he loves what he's doing, like being the best idol, being the best big brother, being like the best
He's not doing
center.
a good job with being the best big
With a
brother,
big
but
brother,
okay.
yeah.
uh
He's failing miserably. Yeah.
That's true. And Ten cares very deeply for his fans. He's very sincere with putting their feelings first above anything else. Parang he's not just doing it because it's his job. Parang even though he keeps saying na idol's job is ganto, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. Parang you can see how he genuinely just wants to put his fans' feelings
Mm.
on top. He's not doing it para he's not forcing himself to do it. He's like genuinely doing it for the
Because he
sake of
wants
his
to.
fans. Yeah, because he wants exactly. And he also puts Kujo and Trigger first, putting aside his morals and will do everything he can to fulfill any and all of their desires. And this is very it's obvious with Riku. I wait. It's not obvious with Riku, but it's obvious with Kujo.
Mm.
Um like even though Kujo is even though he obviously knows na Kujo he bought him and shit para lang for
Mm.
Zero and stuff, he still wants to make sure na Kujo's happy. That's why hindi niya maiwanan si Kujo. Whenever Gaku keeps like asking him na, are you going with Trigger? Are you going with Kujo? Ganyan, ganyan. He genuinely doesn't want to choose because he both loves them
Mm.
in a way. I saw a theory on Twitter while we're talking about 10. I saw a theory on this actually broke my heart. I forgot who it was, so I'm very sorry if this is your theory. I forgot to take note of your ad, but the person was like, I think the reason why 10 parang mas pinipili niya kay Kujo even though pwede siyang bumalik yung parang pinupush siyang bumalik sa Nana sa family is because he thinks na he can handle Kujo more than his parents. It makes you wonder if the parents were toxic as well.
Mm.
Mm.
And it makes sense kasi if you think about it, Riku, he only thinks like happy things with his family, right?
Mm.
10 with 10, parang wala siyang masabing like happy things with his family. And it makes sense kasi you're not going to tell the sick child anything. And Riku told this before, right? Na his entire family tries to hide everything from him.
Mm.
And 10 being the overprotective big brother, he will shield Riku with parang all of the negativity in the world. So he will like shoulder that. Like if you think about it, what kind of parents are you? Now you're
To
going to
sell your
agree.
kid
Yeah, exactly. You're going to agree to sell your kid just because your
bankrupt.
business, yeah, is bankrupt. And it's understandable then na like Riku, he needs the medical. Ano, parang
Mm.
the stress with having to take care of a child, a sick child 24/7 could, and like your business being bankrupt could potentially lead to stress. I'm not saying that it's understandable that they're being toxic, but it makes you wonder if it's that's the reason why.
Mm.
And maybe kasi si Kujo, with Kujo, the way that he's acting with Kujo, it's obvious na he knows what he's doing. Parang
Mm.
sanay na siya na mag-handle ng emotional person.
Mm.
And si Kujo, isang tao lang siya. Yung parents niya, dalawa. So
Hmm.
it's easier to handle Kujo than his parents. Parang ganun. Ganun yung theory
He
nila.
also has to worry about a sick brother, a sick
Mm.
sibling.
And if you think about it, like, Ten's just a child, like, with all of these.
Mm.
Parang na-burden siya. Even though, technically, parang Riku calls him his big brother, they're still twins. They're still the
Yeah.
same age. But he had to take on the burden of being the older sibling.
Mm.
And I think in a way, kaya din siya sumama kay Kujo is because he saw this escape na I could finally, I can leave that behind. Yung burden, having to carry that burden.
Mm.
Parang
Yeah,
ganon.
because apart from having to take on the older sibling role, older sibling in general has a lot of burden on top of that pa.
Mm-mm.
That makes sense. And diba, na-mention din yun in the past na Rico only remembers the good parts kasi yun nga, everything is shielded from him. So the
Mm-mm.
way he remembers his family is good.
Mm.
That's why he's confused why Ten left. And Ten's
And
right. Are you sure about that?
it makes sense then na if I was his parents, I wouldn't probably be easily agreeing for Riku to be an idol. But they let Riku stay in a dorm. Parang they let the company handle him.
Mm.
Parang, okay, kayo na mag-alaga sa kanya. Parang ganon.
Mm.
They're very easily, ay totoo syempre theory. Pero parang they easily just let their children be taken care of other people.
Yeah.
'Di ba?
Yeah.
So, and parang it's their chance na, okay, iba na yung mag-worry.
They're
So,
I'm
neglectful.
free.
so medyo, parang mas lalong bumigat yung twins arc na nabasa ko yung theory na yun. um, And so going back with the monster versus angel, so Riku on the other hand is considered as a monster. So not only because of his appeal and power, which we talked about like with Yori and stuff, but he
Mm-hmm.
tends to be very selfish at times.
Mm.
So he started becoming an idol to seek his brother. He tends to put his feelings first and act according to what he believes would let him achieve any of his goals. 'Di ba, when Trigger fell, ang una pa rin niyang iniisip is si Ten.
Mm.
No, we have to help Trigger. We have to help Tenny. Ganyan-ganyan siya.
Mm.
Parang nawala yung sense na, para si Yori, 'di ba, he's the realistic person in the group, and he keeps on like saying, we have to like be careful, we have to think this through, kasi we're also idols, it could also tarnish our name. And he's like, no, trigger.
Mm.
Trigger. Ganun siya like that. And
Parang
honestly,
he's
this
also really pushy with what he believes in. Kasi I
exactly.
remember that yung girl, yung nakapwisit na girl
Ayo.
from Tsukumo.
Yeah.
Tsukumo ba yun? Tsukumo,
No,
right?
she's from Hoshikage.
Sorry, yeah, Hoshikage, yeah. Yung sabi, yung parang he tried to poach the girl.
And Yuri's
Because
like,
he
what
thinks
are
it's
you
like the right thing. So yeah, he's like, shut up! Don't say that!
doing? And honestly, that like part of Riku, that could stem from Ten being overprotective, and
He
so
was very
Riku,
sheltered.
yeah, he was sheltered and he became spoiled. But surface level, as I've mentioned, you can see Nariko's the kind one and Ten's like the sharp tongued one.
Mm.
And when you look at the facts and the deep thoughts and perspectives of the twins, you'll be able to distinguish them as different though. Na you it makes sense na Kujo is calling Riku the monster and in Ten as the angel. I actually, when he said that at first, I was like, I think you're just a bit biased towards Ten. I am too, but
And then you realized.
and then I realized like, all right, you know what? If I think about this more, and so I took notes like, oh, Yan. Yung essay ko na yon, yun tinype ko.
Another thing, di ba sinabi ni Kujo, he'll be sad if Riku is reunited with Ten. I have a theory on that
Mm.
na, di ba nga, Riku has the power to like, sway someone by emotions. And ang pinaka-vulnerable dito is si Ten. Because like
Oh,
Ten
right.
loves Riku too much. So if Riku guilt trips Ten, which is
Hmm.
what he's really good at,
Honestly.
Ten could potentially be swayed
Yeah.
really hard. And that will
Mm.
leave Kujo really sad.
Yung ano din, yung reason, 'di ba they explain like the reason na on why Ten left the Nanase
Mm-mm.
family.
The medical
I,
expenses.
yeah, it was heartbreaking for me that Ten didn't want to tell Rico the actual reason. Parang he's been begging him to tell him, but he didn't want to. Kasi he knows Riku and he knows that he'll feel guilty about it,
Mm-mm.
which he did. When it's not like it's not even his fault. It's his parents' fault. They should have just and he accepted the fact that Riku would just start hating him for
Mm.
no reason. Well, there's a reason, yung leaving the family thing. Pero like for a different reason
Mm.
than the truth, parang ganon. Kasi obviously if you're in the situation, you would be like, I did this for you. Ganun. Alam mo yung
Oh.
sa mga movies, I did this for you. And you're not even thankful. Pero Ten's just like, okay, start hating me. It's fine. Just don't, ano. Although Ten's not really good at like showing his fucking feelings.
Emotions.
He's, he's one of the worst at that. On that department. He's one of the worst, if not the worst.
Remember, idol
I feel
personality
like
test.
Excuse me.
Am I wrong? Did I stutter?
are you gonna deny? Do you have the guts to deny? Alam, pinagpapawisan na siya.
Mainit okay, nakapatay yung fan.
Hindi, pero ano, parang
Yep.
Ten is like one of the worst people at expressing his feelings. And I feel like the only person that could rival him is either Yamato or Sogo.
Sogo can, in a way, but he expresses it very uniquely.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
He's our
He's
he's our
literally
resident yandere.
yeah, he literally remove the screws of your door and take it out of its hinges just so he could talk to you if you're shutting him out. Like he will do that. He will break the door.
I think Yamato's the best answer for that question.
That's true.
Instead.
Now that I think about it, yeah. Ano na talaga, sobrang roundabout lang yung way ng pag-express ni Sogo. But yeah, he can express himself. I'm not gonna risk him coming for me.
And like you remember he made that like list of things for Tamaki. He's expressing his like care for Tamaki, and he was like pointing out pointers, and Tamaki's like, I'm stupid, just go straight to the point.
That's true.
Right? So
That's
he does know
true.
how to express it. It's just that he's just expressing it differently. That's all.
Yes.
What Kay was hindi ko siya ma-bring up kanina, yung speech ni Yori about Riku. A lot of, I don't know if they've changed now because I don't really like follow them, but I've seen a lot of people like talking about the scene, and they were like talking about like how Yori was being jealous and stuff. Like you can, yeah, it's easy to think na Yori is being jealous at first, like being left behind because Riku's like
Yeah.
climbing up and stuff. So like it you can see na there could be like that misunderstanding with the viewer na
I
Yori's
mean,
being
the
jealous and
way
stuff.
if I'm remembering this correctly, I feel like they kind of intended it to look like he's
Yeah.
jealous, cause like the storytellers. Cause I
Mm.
remember merong isang line doon where he's like, "Don't run too fast." Like don't leave me behind. Parang
Yeah.
he already said something like that,
Yeah, yeah, he
and
did.
so that's I feel like that's like intentional to mislead the viewers
Mm.
into thinking na Yori's just insecure.
Yeah. And then you remember na Yori doesn't really want to be an idol. I mean, he
Yeah,
obviously loves his job naman din. And
yeah,
he loves being an idol with IDOL7. I think
yeah.
if you ask him to be a solo artist or you ask him to be an idol without IDOL7, he's probably gonna say no because the only reason why he even loves this job is because he loves being an IDOL7.
And like the only reason he's in there is because he knows it's what his brother wants to do, and
Mm,
so he just agreed to be an idol if his brother can come along as well.
yeah. Pero I think that yung thought na yun, it grew for Yori na it's not just his brother anymore. It's like all of the members. All six
Yeah,
of his members, parang ganon. And yung he's scared of Riku and the possibilities of him being uncontrollable in the future. Na he's scared na he has unleashed this like monster into the
Yeah, I
world.
think also yung line na yun na him being left behind stems
Mm,
from that as well.
yeah.
Kasi ang alam niya trump card niya si Riku eh. So if Riku runs too fast, he won't be able to control Riku.
And that's what parallels him with Kujo. Because Kujo did the same thing with Zero. And Yori is planning on making Riku the biggest superstar. And Kujo planned that with Zero and that failed. And now he's planning on like making it again with 10. And they're both controlling these idols, pero they just do it differently, 'di ba?
Yeah.
So you can see na they're very similar with their mission and vision. Pero they're different on how they tackle it. Parang ganon. It's funny kasi there was a scene. I'm pretty sure this is in part 4 or was it part 5? Basta he was like Yari was like I need to continue being an idol so I could be different from him. They were like, I forgot who he was talking to, but like the person he was talking to was like, who's him? And you know that he's talking about Kujo. He needs to be an idol, so he's different from Kujo. Kujo's not an idol, parang ganon. That's how he's thinking it. Pero if you think about it, he's different from Kujo with the way that he's doing things. Not just because he's an idol. So,
Kujo has a lot of like selfish intent.
mm. And Yori just wants Idol 7 to grow. Like,
Yeah,
he
parang
just cues.
Kujo has a lot of like personal agendas. That's why he's doing that, and like it's clear na he can just easily throw 10 away if 10 doesn't succeed as well.
Mm.
Like with Haru.
Yes, with Haru. And like that scene, yung with Yuri, yung the way that they build up yung the monster reveal thing, I really love that. Like that was in episode 7. Oh, episode 6 was when Riku's voice was isolated when they were singing, and they were singing Monster Generation, but you don't hear any of the other members singing anymore. You only hear Riku. And then nag-strengthen yung parang emotions ng fans.
Mm.
And parang ini-invite niyo yung fans. Parang gano'n. Parang, yes, ganyan. Tapos louder ng louder yung voices ng fans while Riku's voice is being isolated. I thought that was
Si
such a
Rena, siya talaga
beautiful.
yung si Rena eh. No?
It's like,
Yes.
alam niyo yung Pied Piper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it does like yeah. And
Yeah.
yung sa episode 7 when Riku and Yori was talking at their dorm, Riku was surrounded by darkness while Yori was surrounded by light. It's like they're
Mm.
really building on like the Riku being a monster thing.
Mm.
That was very interesting. And also when they were singing Yori's center song, which is Perfection Gimmick, everybody is just shouting Riku's name and using his light stick when it should have been Yori because that's Yori's center song. And it kind of parang it could potentially feel very rude to Yori
Mm-mm.
kasi bakit si Riku yung fino-focus niyo? Eh, ito yung center song ko.
Mm.
Parang ganun. Although Yori doesn't really think that much about it. He
He
was
just
thinking of Riku as well during that time. So, ayun lang. It's a very interesting. We see more of the Monster Riku thing in the future, but they don't focus on it, which is I feel a bit sad about that because they
it's a
could
big
really
thing.
use. Yeah, it's a very big potential. Maybe in the future. Wink, wink.
Maybe it's because they're not sinesement nila yung fact na people don't notice.
That's true. Ang ano lang actually, medyo ginu-goosebumps ako whenever it gets bringed up. Bringed up? What the fuck is that word?
Brought
Brought up.
up.
Whenever it gets brought up.
Narinig ko burned up. You're burning stuff?
Pero it's like everybody's talking about it, but nobody's like making a connection na it's a thing.
Mm.
It's just Yori and Kujo thinking about na Riku's doing it again, parang ganon.
Mm.
Pero the others are just like, wow, Riku is ano ganyan ganyan ganyan, parang ganon. It's just really interesting to see. If you don't think about it too much, you wouldn't really realize it. That's what happened to me. I mentioned this before with you guys na when that monster arc thing was revealed, it suddenly like bumalik sa akin lahat ng feelings ko kay Riku from season 1 na whenever Riku's there, I just want to do whatever he wants me to do. Parang ganun. Parang I just want to protect this child. And I thought it was just like his cinnamon bun vibes. His puppy vibes. I just wanted to protect Riku. I didn't know that I was being manipulated. I feel betrayed. And makikita niyo rin yung sa first beat, yung episode 14 sa first beat, yung sound ship scene. When they were saying na Riku's amazing. When he started singing, when he was talking to the fans, they just suddenly decided to like support IDOLiSH7. They stopped like yelling at yelling Trigger's
Mm.
name, getting mad, ganyan. Parang it makes you want to support him.
Yeah.
Since first beat, you could see like the sprinkles of Monster Riku here and there.
And it could easily be passed off as underdog.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's being pure,
Mm.
innocent child vibes
Which he is, but like,
to a different level.
yeah. Parang he has too much influence and like he doesn't realize it, so he's being irresponsible with it.
But there are good sides with that, like with Rio, with
Mm.
what happened to Rio. When Rio was like being influenced with Rico, I was like, this is what Yori was looking for when he was like, how should we use Riku's powers? I was like, this, you should use him for this.
Manipulate Rio.
Yeah, but like honestly, it was very scary. Nah, he has this power to even make this like scary being. Like if you think about it, Rio's very scary.
Mm-hmm.
If he's a person in real life, I'll be scared of him, like with his power
Yeah.
and his thinking. But like Riku was able to like influence him as well. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing though.
yeah,
Rio has insecurities. It's very petty and childish, but he has
yeah,
insecurities that's idol related. He wants idol's attention. That's what
yeah,
he wants.
yeah.
And so it's just getting fulfilled.
But
Alam mo yon.
like
So it makes sense.
he's thinking na Riku understands him and shit. Even though like Riku's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What's happening?
Yeah.
Can you please explain? So medyo umaano na yung Rio's like the big example of parasocial relationships.
Yeah.
Mga delusional.
Yeah, siya yung ano, siya yung mental institution level of parasocial relationship.
Yeah. And like
It's that level.
someone pointed out actually that yung scene with Friends Day, yung kay Rio and Riku, when Riku sneaked in sa studio nung dapat nagpapahinga na sila. Yun.
Ah.
Tapos nakita siya ni Rio. Someone pointed out that the way that they were talking was very similar to how groomers are talking to potential targets. And I was like,
Oh, that
where?
makes me uncomfortable.
I was like, where? Why do we have a lot of groomers in this show?
But like, what exactly did they say? Because I don't remember.
He was like trying to like persuade Riku na we're one,
Yeah, we're
we
Oh,
understand
similar.
yeah,
each
yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
ano,
yeah, yeah.
you should
We're the same person, you just don't realize it.
we ganto ganyan. You should trust me. Mga ganon.
You should come with me.
Yeah,
Abandon them because they wouldn't understand you the way I would. Oh,
ganon.
ew.
Ganon siya
Ew.
magsalita, no? Yung vibes niya.
Diyos
So,
ko, siya pala yung rival ni Kujo.
ah, honestly though, kasi with Kujo, he's not grooming people because he wants them to trust him. He just wants to build a superstar. Parang ganon. It doesn't.
It's still grooming.
It's still
It's
grooming.
still
I'm not saying
grooming.
na what he's doing is good, but like he's in a way mas okay pa ako kay Kujo. Kasi yun lang naman yung gusto niya sa buhay niya. I still need him to go
And
to
honestly,
therapy.
he is not hurting Ten.
Yeah,
Din
he
naman.
isn't hurting them. But he's actually giving them like life. I mean like yung
Everything.
yeah, like a family in a way. He's still trying to become like a family with like Aya and Ten. It's still grooming, but like he's
Yeah, it
not.
is still the grooming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not actively trying to like hurt them
Mm-mm.
in a way na like in a way what Rio's doing, which is
Yeah, yeah,
with
yeah.
Rio he weaponized other people's family issues because his own
Mm,
family
Mm.
broke him. It shows how twisted this asshole really is.
mm.
To be
If
honest.
if Riku uses sympathy, Ryo uses fear.
Exactly. That's true. And I
That's
think
true.
that's also a rich, powerful person
Yeah.
thing.
Eat the rich. The main theme of this episode is eat the rich.
But yung scene with Rio and Momo, oh my goodness gracious. Amen. Yun yung dinadasalan ko. Talaga nang sobra, sobra. Sabi ko,
Wait, what exactly?
yung
Oh, is it
na niya si
the
Momo.
yeah. I
Sabi ko,
remember now. Kasi yung first scene that came to mind was the pathetic excuse ni Rio for what he's doing. I thought it was that, but that was like part one.
dude, I get it. You hate idols or you're gonna kill someone?
Yeah.
You're willing to kill
Yeah.
someone? It's just
Honestly, it's so Filipino drama coded. That's all I can say. It's so Filipino drama coded.
It's a
That's what you see
telenovela.
in Filipino drama.
a lot
Yeah, in
of
the telenovelas.
Kaya a lot of people are saying na Rio is very cartoonishly villainous.
Yeah.
He's not beyond killing.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious, bro. Like, do you hear what he says on the daily?
Mhm.
Like, he's eating roast beef and he's thinking about beheading shit. Ugh.
He very psychopathic
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah.
Pero
Yeah.
honestly, like during that, obviously, I know Momo's not gonna die because they've been releasing revival songs. So I know Momo's alive. Pero
I
like,
also know that Momo is not gonna die kasi IDOLiSH7 is not that type of anime.
it's still very scary.
Yeah.
Like that scene, parang, please, what are you doing? Not Momo, not Momo,
That
please.
that whole scene was just really dark because it's plausible.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
and
entirely possible to happen.
and ano pa, parang they're making it seem like it's a suicide, and
Yeah.
suicide is a big thing in idol industry, so it makes
It's gonna
sense.
be accepted.
Yeah, and they won't like think too much about it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kasi they've intoxicated him. So if
And
they make
there's
if
no break in. There's no break in that could lead to foul play,
mm,
right? Like he intentionally brought them inside the
yeah,
apartment. Number two, he's like intoxicated because of
mm,
alcohol.
yeah,
And then so it's entirely possible na he just fell to his death because he's like so drunk. I think the only thing that could possibly turn this case around are cameras.
yeah,
But
and I
again,
think Neo would,
considering, yeah,
yeah,
would like do something about that. But even then, since, as you said, in the idol industry, in any idol industry for that matter, suicide is very common. So like it's gonna be case closed, and they're not gonna bother to look into it more.
and if
Mhm.
inautopsy nila si Momo, makikita nila, yeah, he's intoxicated, he's
Yeah,
drunk.
exactly. So like it's gonna be difficult to like say foul play kasi yun nga, like Rio has power. Like he can destroy CCTV footage
Yeah,
easily.
and
And
that's like
like
scary about him.
yeah. And like he could easily pay off like the employees of that apartment building.
And like he has a
Cause he can,
mafia
yeah.
on his side.
Yeah, he has a mafia. So like he can easily silence them. Like, and it's really funny kasi di ba yung sa notes ko sabi ko, this is like a mafia gang. I said that and Bree gave me the look. And I knew that it's gonna be an
No, he
important
didn't give
detail.
you a look. I laughed.
It's still a look.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
still
yeah.
a look. You did a look.
Natawa ako. And like honestly, I'm not really hiding it because I told Kay about it before.
Oh.
Tapos kasi na-stress ako ng sobra talaga. Sabi ko kay Kay, Kay, may mafia. Sabi niya, ano, ha? IDOLiSH7? Oh,
You
may
were
mafia.
eating. You were eating during this.
Like, hindi ko na alam gagawin
And
ko.
here's the thing. And here's the thing. You played the game.
No, I
You should
watched the
know.
anime before I played the game.
Mhm.
Ah,
Yeah,
all
so
right. You
yung
just did the
anime,
switch thing.
yeah, and yung anime, so anime yung nauna, tapos finalo ko na yung after the anime ended, na
Yeah.
ano ko na yung part 4 to 6. So,
Mm. Okay. I see. I see. I see.
anything else with Rivale, Mamo, that's a different person. Momo, Rio. Oh, you know what? Nasad ako dun sa part ng Zul when, especially with Toma. Parang dito kasi nagsisement yung fact na Zul is also a victim. I'm not excusing their behavior because I'm still, honestly, I always say na I love Zul now. I do love Zul now. I love their dynamics. They have one brain cell living in them and they always lose it. Pero there's still that part of me na if they didn't like do something, Trigger won't I'm a very big Trigger fan. So, parang Trigger won't have to experience any of this. Parang
Mm,
meron pa rin akong feelings about that. So, it's not gonna go away.
mm,
Even though I understand that they're also a victim. Th- Like, honestly, all the kids here are just being used by the grown-ups.
mm.
Yeah,
Pero,
I agree.
pero they still decided to do it. Even though they're being manipulated to do it. Which
They like,
makes
I
me...
think, I think, I think the better description is they were manipulated to do it, but they still have their own personal agendas
mm.
that fueled their actions.
Yeah. So, medyo nasad ako dun sa part na with Toma, yung he just wants to like protect Riku. So he talked to Momo and then na find out sila. And he's innocent into thinking na Rio won't track Zul as well. Like the way he's like tracking Momo. And yung part na threaten ni Rio yung like everybody around Toma. And then yung part na sinabi ni Yuki, you know what you're going into when you worked with him. And yung realization ni Toma na parang I am working with a bad guy
Mm,
dun sa scene na yon, that made me very sad for Zul. Kasi they all have their traumas.
mm,
They all have their struggles. And these were being used by Rio. So, and they're still kids in a way. Like dalawa pa ay, well technically Minami's 19. Is he an adult? I'm not sure.
late
But
adolescence.
yeah, he's still a teenager in a way. So, parang their oldest is like 23, 24,
Mm,
ganon. So I feel like they're very young to have to like go through this then.
mm.
Yeah.
Going back with Rio and Momo though.
Yeah.
This is more about Momo. Nasabi ko rin to last time, but I felt very frustrated with Momo. Still frustrated with part 2. Cuz
Bakit?
like I get that he's trying to keep Rio close just so he could protect the other idols.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated parehas kami ni Yuki ng feelings na it's frustrating that he's putting himself in danger just because he feels guilty for what he has.
That's true.
It's survivor's guilt.
Mm.
And
I
like, he's had so many talks with Yuki about this, and he's still guilty.
Yeah, gets ko naman it's not easy to get over that.
Yeah,
But
but
damn it,
it's
my
still
dude.
frustrating. That's why, di ba nagsampalan sila? I
Mm.
really felt that slap. Like,
The
yes.
serve.
Yes. The serve.
Tapos, nagalit si Ocarine. Partners should not slap each other.
Marriage counseling.
Marriage counseling. And it makes sense then, yung sinabi ni Ocarine, why don't they ask their company for help?
Yeah.
Ocarine's
Oh my
like, I'm
god.
here. Tell me what's happening.
I'm
Let me
literally your
protect you.
manager. It's my job. I'm being paid to parent you. Tell me.
How
Let
old
me
is
do my
Okarin?
job.
How old
Huh?
is Okarin?
I'm not sure actually how old he is. He's
Feel like he's
probably
gonna
like
have gray hair soon just because of those.
he's probably like late 20s, early 30s maybe.
Mm,
And how old is Rivale again?
Rival is like
late 20s,
20
right?
yeah, 25, 26, ganon.
My age.
Yeah. Or so maybe Ocarine's like 30s, in his 30s.
Mm,
Kasi he's already working when inano niya yung Rivale, yung original Rivale.
Yeah,
mm,
that's
Um
true.
and it actually makes sense when I met yung company president nila. Kasi ano pa parang part 5 pa ata lalabas yung company president nila. Yung conversation. Yuki, ang funny nun kasi Yuki just doesn't really care about the dude, about their president. So, it makes sense na they don't wanna ask the company for help. he doesn't he doesn't think too highly of their president. I feel like they think more highly of Okarin than the president, to be honest. So before do you have anything else that you want to add before I go on with my favorite arc?
No.
Oh, I really love the trio scene. Banri, Momo, Yuki scene.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yuki and Banri just like bragging about their I want to say boyfriends, but like I might get hated if I call Banri and the president boyfriend. His older boyfriend. So we're gonna shut up.
Let's not let our
Hilig
impulsive
pala si...
thoughts come
Oh,
out.
I was gonna say another impulsive thought, so never mind, because you just said that.
Let's
No,
not do
say
Never
it.
that.
mind.
Say it. I
No, no,
wanna
let's
hear it.
move on.
I wanna hear it. I wanna hear it. I can cut it out. I can cut it out. What is it?
I was gonna say, type pala ni Banri yung old money.
Well, technically, the president is not old money. He's just old and he has money, but he's not old money.
It's still old money. It still fits the definition.
But a lot of people like those like the closed eye types. The anime characters that always closes their eyes and only opens them if they're serious. Okay. Nakatawa na ba kayo? We're going to be talking about something serious.
Wait lang, sorry, now that I said that,
Yeah.
stepfather ni Tsumugi si Banri?
No,
Bro,
shut up.
we're moving on. Nagi. Nagi. We're moving on. Nagi. Nagi.
I'm right. Nagi royalty.
Okay, let's not guys ignore Lila. So we're talking about Nagi. Yes, he
Somebody
is
mute her.
royalty. Can you mute Lila?
I'm crying.
So Nagi as a royal, that's right.
Yes, I'm
Um
right.
it's you were also right. Kay was also right with like Minami having an agenda against Nagi.
Mm,
Kasi Lila was thinking he has an agenda against Yamato, right?
mm.
So what do you guys think about it?
Hindi ko pa rin gets yung agenda ni Minami, but okay, girl work.
Do you want me to explain? Do you want me to explain it?
Yes.
So basically Minami studied abroad
In
and
North
he
Mare.
yeah, in North Mare. And there he met Haruki.
Mm,
Tapos Haruki at that time, they mentioned it, right? That he's sick.
yeah.
Okay. So Haruki's already sick. And parang nakwento niya yung everything about Nagi. And
Mm,
lagi kasing sinasabi ni Minami kay Haruki na you have to let go of Nagi. Kasi
mm,
they're going to be using you against Nagi. Kasi everybody knows about Nagi.
mm,
But like Haruki knows the inside of that like royal family kasi Nagi's telling him. And
mm,
so alam din ni Minami yung insides ng royal family. And he kept like pushing Haruki to like leave, to like stop putting Nagi first, ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. Until nag-disappear si Haruki. So he's angry at Haruki and he's angry at Nagi. He's angry at Haruki kasi he never listened to him. And
mm,
now he's gone. Parang he's hurt obviously kasi Haruki's also his friend. Na-attach din siya kay Haruki. And parang inaano niya na you wouldn't disappear if you just listen to me. And he's angry at Nagi kasi it's Nagi's fault in his
mm,
eyes. Na if you didn't befriend Haruki or if you stop like attaching yourself to Haruki, they wouldn't use Haruki to get to you. You
mm,
made Haruki your weakness. Parang ganun.
mm,
and now you're not even doing anything about it. You're just here singing sa Japan and stuff. Parang ganon.
Mm,
Yun
okay.
yung agenda ni Minami.
Mm, okay,
But
okay.
am I right in... Kasi parang may nalala ko na sabi ni Minami na Haruki hated him.
Who?
Nagi.
Nagi.
He's just say. I think he said that to get to
Nagi.
Nagi.
Okay. So he lied, parang ganun. Just to spite him.
Para, oo, parang ganon.
Okay.
Nakaka-thought ako na baka nga may ginawa yung royalty family sa kay Haruki.
I think na ano yun na yung kasi 'di ba foreigners daw yung
Mm,
nag-blackmail dun sa songwriter nila.
mm,
So, I think it was established although hindi alam kung ano ba talaga ginawa ng royal family.
mm.
I'm not gonna say what it is. like,
Let's wait a few more years.
no! We're waiting 1 year. We're only waiting 1 year.
Sure.
Tourist spots.
And we're back. And this is the last IDOLiSH7 recommendation that I have for you guys, since this is the last episode of IDOLiSH7. It's not the last, because I still have hope that season 4 is gonna come. But, like, for now, it's the last episode. So, this is the last recommendation for now, and it's crossover rotation. I wanted to end the recommendations with like a song that's from all four of them. That's why I chose crossover rotation. Crossover rotation is a song that they released for 7th anniversary, and because it's 7th anniversary, so it's supposed to be like this very big deal because it's 7. And so they released a song, and it's from all four groups. And what I like about this song is that they introduced the groups one by one before they sang all together. So Idol 7 was first, and then Trigger, and then Rivale, and then Zul. And their introductions, the if you look up the lyrics for all the introductions that they have, they introduce the members one by one. So one member is going to introduce another member, and then so forth and so on. So they all sang individually, introducing another member, and it's a really nice introduction for all of them because you really see like the different personalities of the idols. And then when they after introducing the member, they're gonna sing like all together, and the lyrics all contain the songs, like their old songs, the titles of their old songs. So for IDOLiSH7, there's the policy, there's like the discover the future, there's Mr. Affection, I think. Basta all of their old songs are there. Like for Trigger, there's Suisai, there's like the Diamond, Fusion. Parang all their past song titles are in the song. So it's a really nice parang nod. And it's like, because it's a 7th anniversary song, parang they're just showing na these are all the things that we've had thus like so far, and we'll have more, parang ganun. And it's just ang cool lang nun kasi at first I didn't realize that they were like singing their old title songs, and then I heard, parang I listened to it again, and then I heard the song titles. I'm like, oh wait a minute, oh wait a minute, and then I listened to it again with that in mind, and I was like, oh my god, they had a nod to their past songs. So it's a good song to end the recommendations on because it's like getting together, like coming together type of thing. And if you don't know the characters, like you're still new to it, it's a good song to like introduce the members on. And and since another member is introducing the idol or like the character, parang you can see like their relationships and stuff. It's just a really nice song. They also performed this in the 7th anniversary live, only once, only 7th, but it's the seiyus singing now, it's not the characters. Although 7th anniversary live was around the pandemic period. I think that was 2022. So, yeah, it's 2022. And medyo ano pa, separated pa din sila. Mga spaces in between. So medyo sad lang ako that they performed that way. But obviously for safety reasons they have to do that. Pero I kind of miss yung parang very close proximity thing nila. And they couldn't really move kasi they had to like stay in that one spot. So, medyo sad lang. Pero, that I think that's been their live, like, together after the second live. Kasi they've been doing lives, like, separately as a group, but they haven't, like, really gone together, like, all 16 seiyuu. So, it was a nice thing to, like, see lang. So, yeah. Crossover rotation. They also have, like, on Spotify, if you search crossover rotation, they have like the whole song, and they also have like IDOLiSH7 version, Trigger version, and it's just like that group singing. The other groups aren't there, so I highly suggest you listen to like the entire thing, like the whole group, like the whole four groups on Spotify. Again, IDOLiSH7 is on Spotify. All of their songs are on Spotify, so please listen to Spotify. Thank you, and that's the end of my tourist spots IDOLiSH7 version. Now let's finish the episode.
Tourist spots.
So, yung gusto ko lang naman i-bring up is yung confrontation ni Nagi at Minami inside the dark room in the closet.
Actually, in the game, it wasn't even in the dark closet. I think they were outside.
It's a
I think the creators of the anime are pushing an agenda, as the conservatives say.
I mean, we're all rainbows here, so.
it's the
Exactly.
fruity agenda.
And he's always been fruity, so it makes sense.
Uh, ano lang, yung line lang nila ni Nagi na he has jurisdiction in Japan as well. It's a very big power flex. Damn, bro.
But
Honestly,
does he?
He
he
probably
does.
Does
does.
he?
Yeah, because he's a royal.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Pero honestly, that's the
Mm.
only time na he was talking like straight na I like. Cause
Hindi ka
Quote
stressed.
unquote
uh,
straight.
whenever he's talking without his accent, I'm actually fucking sad. So, medyo may trauma ako pag naririnig ko si Nagi in a like straight Japanese. Do not ever talk to me that way again.
How dare you?
How dare you? Pero, yung another point na gusto kong anuhin kay Nagi is, oh wait, may question si Lila, diba?
Oh, right. Would you agree that Nagi is an exception with the eat the rich agenda?
No. We eat the rich. I love him, but we eat the rich.
But like the thing about Nagi is he only uses it for Kokona merch. So
Mhm.
he gets a pass for me. I do
I
the
like
same.
him. I like him as an otaku.
Love otaku, it makes sense. It's understandable. He only loves
That's
Kokona.
You mean the taxpayers' money go to anime girls? Is that what you're saying?
Who cares? It's Kokona.
We should use the taxpayer money for
If you think about it, the tax goes back.
That's true.
it's a cycle. And like I
Oh
think
my
because
gosh.
Nagi's an idol now, so technically he uses his own money.
But like he's been using his money for Kokona merch before he became an idol. So like that argument doesn't really bode well.
Okay, moving
Lila,
on.
blasphemy.
Yeah,
Blasphemy.
we're
We
praying to
pray.
I
Kokona.
am
Yeah, we
I
pray
am
to
sorry.
Kokona.
I am sorry, Kokona. Please forgive me.
Yung scene where Nagi was trying to escape reality with 2D, but it
Mhm.
didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
Yung buong scene na yon, when after he found out about like Haruki, Nagi was in an earlier bright room where he's still trying to figure things out and he still had hope.
Mm-hmm.
So he was in a bright room, right? And then
Yeah.
he moved to the living room where he's trying to hold on to that hope and he's escaping reality with 2D. And it's the place is dark, but the only light coming from was the TV. So parang yun yung hope niya, yun yung lifeline niya, si Kokona.
Yeah.
Tapos, yung next scene na nun is the whole room is dark and Nagi's on the floor. And it's obvious na wala na yung hope. Parang even if he was trying to use Kokona, it didn't work for him
Mhm.
Yeah.
at all. Parang he finally couldn't use his parang defense mechanism or his escape mechanism,
Coping.
coping. Yeah, every
Yeah.
mechanism in the world. He can't use it
Lahat
anymore.
na.
And yun na yung makikita mo packed up na lahat ng merch niya. Hindi mo
Yeah.
na
Really
makita
sad.
yung, di ba?
Yeah, when I saw that scene, I'm like, oh no. Like, he's really done for.
He
That's so depressing.
I forgot to mention yung now that I remember it. It's very out of context. Pero Lila in the was that like first beat or second beat? She said in award shows they usually announce that they almost disbanded. Oh, it's first beat. I saw my notes. In award shows, they announced that they almost disbanded, and like in Mop, in third beat, Yamato was like, "We almost disbanded. I
It's
almost
always that.
left."
Ah.
That was really funny. I was
Oh.
like, you were right. You're right, very much. That's why I took notes of it. But symbolism. So we kind of
This is
tackled
all
on
you.
yes, we kind of tackled the symbolisms a bit. I'm very big on the symbolisms of the show. So, since we're already talking about Nagi, I mentioned this while we were watching. In like the last episodes, you see Nagi's reflection. I think that was like episode 17. Throughout
You
any
mentioned
mirror,
this.
yeah, right? Throughout any mirror scenes, you never see Nagi. And yung part na, kasi whenever they have like performances and stuff, and lagi silang may monologue. Isa-isa silang nagmo-monologue na ano yung mga natuto nila sa scenes na yun, ganyan-ganyan. And we never hear his internal monologue during the realized performance at all. As in, very quiet lang. It's showing na he's not really in that performance at all.
He's
He's
not
just,
thinking.
yeah, he's not thinking.
He's on
And
autopilot.
he's on auto. Pero medyo nasad ako nung part na he was talking to Riku about
The
yung
numbers.
the numbers, yeah. And he was like, you have a 6 in your name as well. So even whatever happens, he didn't specify na he's leaving. Parang whatever happens, we will still be complete with you. Gumanon siya. And I'm like, no! Kasi, the number 7 is very important. Kasi if you've noticed, majority of Ainana's songs, they emphasize the importance of 7 and how they are complete as 7. They always count to 7. They always say na they're 7,
Yeah.
whatever. Like insert a
Oh,
word
this
here.
is
We're 7.
this is
Ano.
reminding me. This is reminding me of things. So it's like it's hitting the feels a lot more.
So it doesn't make sense, Nagi. I want to tell him that it doesn't make sense na you're saying na it's still complete if Riku's there. Kahit kasi may 6 siya. Kasi it's important na all of you are there.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to spoiler territory. I'm going to shut up now. And then the colors. Um,
Kaya mo yan.
yung part, this is not like related to Nagi at all. But if you guys notice, like the ones with similar colors have an impact on each other.
Yeah.
Green.
Mm.
Yuki is neon green. Yamato is green. Minami is I don't know what to call his color. It's like brownish yellow, I guess. And Nagi's like yellow.
Amber.
I don't know what his color is. Basta parang ganun yung color.
Dark
Hindi
yellow.
mo-
Let's call it dark yellow.
Dark yellow. Ang wala
Pea
lang
yellow.
din.
Char.
And Toma is like dark red. Riku's red as well.
Mhm.
Yun yung
mm.
ano. I think yung may mga may mga impact sa isa't. Pero yun lang yung because I've already mentioned like a lot of symbolisms throughout the season. Pero yun yung parang biggest symbolisms na parang general symbolisms na nakita ko so far.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I didn't notice any of that.
Okay, good.
And
Because
I
I
know you told us to
usually
pay attention.
I know it's fine. That's why I'm telling you guys this. Because
Some of it is very subtle.
yeah,
Yeah.
yung seven and yung color, yung Nagi's reflection. Honestly, I haven't noticed it. Notice ko lang siya when it was pointed out. When I saw someone pointing it out. Yung colors and yung seven, ako yung nakaano nun. Ako nakaisip nun. It's all my idea. So no one
Halain
no
nyo
one
yun,
can
may
take
brain cells si Brie.
no one can take that away
Who
from
would have
me.
thought?
And now that we're ending, ay nana, for now, kasi may season 4 yun, I still believe.
Humaasa ka pa rin.
I want to talk about like the overall theme of Ainana. So it's I titled it Positivity versus Realism. Oh, tignan nyo, may essay ako. Ako gumawa din nito. Ideas ko
Can
din to.
you tell our listeners kung ano ang state ng notes mo?
So I have 16 topics on my phone right now. I named it IDOLiSH7 pointers.
It's not even pointers at this point. It's a research paper.
Then I have bullet points for each number. And then I have my notebook because I use a
Nag-thesis
note.
talaga siya eh, no?
Syempre, ganyan ako ka ano, loyal sa Milano. I have a notebook kasi ito yung ginagamit ko when we take notes during watch party. That's why I've been talking this entire episode. So, my last topic. This is my 16th topic. Positivity versus realism. So what's good about Ainana is that even though they touch on a lot of important dark topics, they still tend to show a lot of comedic scenes and positivity in their characters. And no matter how hard life gets, they continue to strive towards what they're passionate about and how strong their bonds really are. So I think the overall theme of Ainana is more on like the bonds rather than like the positive side na you have to like don't give up ganyan ganyan. Parang it's like
Yeah.
creating bonds and using those bonds to grow more as a person.
Actually,
And you
I
yeah,
like that theme na it's not like forced happiness.
yeah.
Because if forced happiness was a thing in Ainana, I would say it's like very cheap.
It's parang easy to make it as that, like just positivity all around because it's idols. Idols
Yeah.
are there to make us happy, basically. Pero
Yeah.
what I like about it is that all the characters, even though they all have trauma, they all experience like all these like bad stuff, they know what they want. They know what they want. They're passionate on what they want, and they will strive to get what they want. Since they know that they want to be this certain person, they will do everything that they can to be that person, even though they're experiencing all this negativity. They're still, they're not forcing themselves to be happy. They're chasing that happiness for themselves. And they also help other people, like by creating bonds with each other. These bonds help them grow into a better person and help them strive to get where they want to achieve. Parang ganon. And I think that's like the overall theme of Ainana. They tackle the balance of realistic approaches, but also not losing that spark of positivity na ito yung gusto ko and I will get it. Parang ganon.
The determination,
Yeah.
basically.
And that is the end of my TED Talk.
Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Do you guys have anything else that you want to add?
For me, it's really nice to see an anime that talks about the dark side of the industry. I know we have Oshinoko right now, which I will be recommending out of surprise, even though Brie doesn't want to. I will be recommending it. But the thing with IDOLiSH7, right? Sabi nga ni Brie na there's still positivity to it, but yeah, they've pretty much told the story about the political stuff as well happening in the industry. So, yeah, not a lot of people would do that.
I just I just want to piggyback on that. Kasi we all know, as stands of music from different countries, specifically K-pop, we all know na ang daming ano dito, mga think pieces na lumalabas na dark side of
Mhm.
K-pop. And most of the time, it's just like purely dehumanizing and demonizing an entire industry
Mhm.
without really with no regards to like the humanity that can also exist in these spaces.
Mhm.
And what I like about Ainana is that it did tackle the topics that are hard to talk about, with like being an idol, being in the entertainment industry in general, not just being, a J-pop idol or a K-pop idol, having fans, being scrutinized, all of these things. But they also tackled it with like humanity and empathy.
Mhm.
Mm.
Kasi I've seen quite a bit of YouTube videos from self-proclaimed critics
Mhm.
na it's dehumanizing. The way they discuss these things is like so detached. Alam mo yun?
Mhm.
Mm.
Na minsan they use like actual suicide cases to prove a point,
Yeah.
which is disgusting to do. And I think that it's important to bring that up, especially with like, I remember with like the most recent death that we know, rest in peace. But I've seen fans say na I better not see some asshole post a video talking about the dark side of K-pop.
Yeah, and the thing is, people are
Yeah.
using pictures of another idol's death, the
Yeah.
funeral, for the videos, which
Yeah.
is fucking disgusting.
Yeah. And that's why I appreciate Ainana adding like humanity and empathy while also talking about important things. Alam mo yun.
And
Parang it's not fetishistic.
it's not just like they didn't just focus on the negative, like the dark side of the industry. Because
Yes.
obviously people know about the dark side, but there's still people who join the industry
Mhm.
despite that. Parang they still showed these kids having a dream and
Mhm.
striving to overcome all of these like negativity and the dark side and all of that. And it's nice to see na they're not just like shying away na hindi, ano, pangit yung idol industry, ganto ganyan. Parang they're not just like bashing the
Yeah, they're
industry.
highlighting
Yeah,
the
yeah.
they're
They're
highlighting the
highlighting the
dreams
problems.
Mm.
as
Yes,
well.
yes, yes. Yeah, they're highlighting the problems without ignoring the dreams and the safe space that can be created within
Mm-mm.
these communities. Because a lot of the times, yung mga think pieces na ganito na we see, it ignores that. Like,
Mm-mm.
they usually make it seem like fans are just mindless robots or mindless puppets who will consume
Mm.
anything pretty, when in
Mm-mm.
fact a lot of fans are capable of critical thinking
Yeah.
that these self-proclaimed critics think they have. And I just want to say that in defense of like, the fans. Like I know we're like shitting on the fans while watching this show, like how
You
fickle
can
fans are,
say it.
because
We're
they are.
fans as well.
Yeah, we're fans as well. Like we sometimes do that. Like Brie has even mentioned, like being affected by Riku, for example,
Mm.
until she had like a pause and think like, oh yeah, this is what's happening.
Mm.
Like fans are fickle. A lot of fans are, especially the loudest ones, but there are a lot who are capable of critical thinking, who are capable of like humanity and empathy and recognizing nuance and recognizing reality and separating
Mm.
it from fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's just fair to emphasize that as well.
That being said, is there anything that you guys are hoping to see in like future seasons? Because there will be
Banry
a future season.
performance pa rin! Banry performance pa rin! I will never
Present
let
day
go of this.
Banri.
Yes, present day Banry. I know you've seen a few of his like revalidates, but present day Banry, kahit small scale, kahit private, kahit within the company lang, kahit yung party-party lang nilang mga idols, like, just give it to me. Give me Banry Perf. I will never let go of this. Magpipikat ako.
Understandable. This is noted.
Okay,
Ako yung creator.
for me, I have a list. So first is the reveal of Ten's reasons to Riku. I want to see Riku's reaction to it.
Yeah.
Next is what happened to Sakura Haruhi. Please just give me that. What happened to that composer?
Yeah.
And then, what happens to Trigger and Kujo's plans for 10? Because that's still happening. And 10
I
is
have one
trying to keep
more.
it all together. Mm,
I have one more kasi nabanggit ni Casey Haruki. What the fuck happened to Zero?
I don't think we're gonna get that.
Just
I stopped hoping
just
for
give me a
that.
hint. Kahit a hint, like if even if it's not like the most explicit resolution na, oh yeah, this is the yung alam mo yung full on storytelling ng one of the characters na this is what happened ganyan ganyan. Kahit lang, alam mo yung hint lang, just sprinkle in some clues on what happened to him. Please. I can't take this anymore. Like he's like it's unintentional, but like at least like for the characters, not for the story writers, but like for the
Mm.
characters it's unintentional, but the world literally revolves around it. Like just give me something, just give me something.
Okay, so in line with Kujo's plans for 10, Iori's plans for Riku. Can he control a monster? We'll find out.
Stay tuned.
Dude,
Stay
dude,
tuned.
isa pa yung dalawang yon. Sobrang sas nila. Would you let me control you? Yes, I'd let you control me.
Return! May in return si Riku! Wag ka! Ba in return!
I said this in the first season. Rainbow nga sila. It's a rainbow party, okay? Why are we
It's
I
a
surprised?
told
fucking
you,
it's a fucking fruit salad. It's a
I told
fucking
you
fruit
guys,
salad.
I can never defend Yoriku after that scene. It's
And
impossible.
lastly is Zul's redemption, please. I'm tired.
Yeah, yeah,
Didn't you say that you'll be
yeah.
their first defender?
Yeah, I'm tired of defending. Please just get your redemption already.
Baka naman tumigil na si Lila sa pag-ano kay Tora.
May tanong ako.
Yeah.
Feeling ko hindi to mangyayari. Pero meron bang resolution kay Rio?
Yes.
I wanna see that too.
Actually, dapat
Like
nililist down ko yan.
as in a satisfying resolution.
Resolution, hindi redemption. Tama ba ang sinabi mo?
Resolution.
Okay,
As
resolution. May
in
resolution siya.
alam mo yung I mean, I don't want him to have a redemption. He's a fucking asshole. He can just rot in hell, but like make him suffer. Give it to me. I need to
Alam mo,
see it.
dapat itatype ko. Rio's death. I held back. Because that's not gonna happen. That's it. That's
Oh
my
my
list.
gosh.
For me, I just want to see, even if it's just like side stories, I just want to see like all the brothers brothering. Like,
so far
please,
so far yung ganyan yung brother thing brothering, I'm only getting satisfied with Mitsuki and
and
Yori
Yori.
somewhat, a little bit,
I want more of
pero
them, to be honest.
yes, yes.
Let the brothers be brothers for fuck's sake. So, alam nyo na hindi masyado magbabrothering ang mga brothers.
The siblings are not siblinging.
Yes, exactly. Actually, you know what? That's a better term. Kasi sila
Kasi
Aya
Aya.
din. Oo, gusto ko rin makita sila
Oh,
Aya
right,
mag-sibling.
right,
So,
right,
let
yeah.
the siblings be siblinging. um, so, that being said, ratings?
For plot, I gave it 28 out of 30. The whole third season really went to a dark turn. This was an idol anime? Why are we here?
Bakit merong foul play with a framed suicide? Why is this a thing?
Why are we talking about cannibalism? For execution, I gave it 28 as well out of 30. I like how everything that was planted in the first season are finally like coming out. Kahit na hindi ko masyadong napansin. And then animation, 17 out of 20%. It's good. Very big improvement from the previous seasons. And hindi na ganun nakaka-whiplash yung difference between the performance and the usual scenes. Acting, I gave it 14% out of 15. Yamato and Tsukumo at least really stood out this season. And even though we hate the Asmerist that Ryo is, the Seiyu portrayed him really well. Soundtrack, of course, perfect score, 5% out of 5%. No complaints. I love the happy opening and the sad ending. Overall, I give it 92%.
How about your overall rating of the
The overall rating for the whole anime from first season to third is 89.3.
Okay. Not too bad.
Mm.
It's actually okay. So while Leela is preparing hers,
Averaging the average.
averaging the average, I have something to
I
tell.
forgot.
I have something to tell the viewers, the listeners. I do not care about what you think, but I was approved by these two, so I will do what I want. So, in the last episode, no, not last episode, the last two episodes, in second beat, I gave second beat 88%, I think. Yeah, 88.5. I gave second beat 88.5. I will be cheating because when I average the scores, like the overall average, I was unsatisfied. And so I have made a new.
I just want the listeners to remember na Brie has a bias because this is her comfort anime. Kahit na nakaka-stress siya, this is her comfort anime. So, she will cheat.
The
I
only
will cheat.
reason we have ratings is for organization purposes. We're still
Not to be
flexible.
objective.
This is our show. So, from 88.5, I made it 92%. um, I just changed the acting. I perfected the acting, and I gave a +1 on the animations slash cinematography. That's all I changed. That's what I cheated on. I will not explain further. Thank you. Go, Lila.
I reserve my right to be silent.
Exactly.
Okay, so third beat. For the plot, I give it a 10. Because I
Okay.
think the whole plot is really nice. The foreshadowing. Yeah, kasi even though, as Kay has mentioned, kahit di ko napapansin yung foreshadowing, I like the foreshadowing. I think the plot is really nice. I think it's very satisfying, even though it's frustrating most of the time. Execution, I also gave it a perfect score, 30%. Because as I've mentioned earlier, it's a show that talks about really important topics in the entertainment industry while also retaining humanity.
Mhm.
And I think they executed that perfectly. So I like how they executed it. I like the reveals. I like the pacing. Kahit na kating-kati ako na ma-resolve na lahat ng problema, I feel like if they did just give it in one go, I would be dissatisfied. So I really like how they chose to reveal the story bit by bit. For the animation, it's improved for my last rating. So now it's 17.6 out of 20. I think there's like an immense improvement with the animation. Hindi ako na gugulantang sa CG. And there are a lot more scenes where they aren't using CG, I think, if I'm remembering correctly.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think it's just very consistent and it's really nice. For the acting, it's the same as my previous ones. 12.75 out of 15. It's alright. I don't really again
She
I'm not
didn't like the asmerism.
Yeah, it's a big factor bakit bumaba yung rating ko, because I hate asthmarisms, and like I just don't like it, especially if it involves the mouth. So, and like I'm not too familiar still with the seiyuu, so like I don't really know yet how to, like, properly rank them. For the soundtrack, it's 4.25 out of 5. Yeah, I think the songs are better. I did say previously, or at least while we're watching, na I do prefer the background music more than the songs, but now like I do prefer the songs. I think the songs are really nice.
Background songs are on Spotify.
They are? Wait. Oh my
Nagising
god.
siya.
Tell me.
I searched it. I searched it for you.
Yay! Oh my gosh. Okay, so nagising ang diwa ko doon. Oh my god, yes, finally. For the overall average for third beat, it's 94.6, which is pretty high. Now, for the overall, for the whole series from first beat to third beat, it's 89.62. And I think I'm very satisfied with that.
So your ratings na akin. This is for third beat. So for the plot, I gave it a perfect score because I love the storyline of third beat so much. I'm not being biased, okay? In the next parts, iba yung
Okay.
score ko. Especially part 5. So, don't come for me, okay? Execution, I also gave it a perfect score. I think both Kay and Lila already talked about how good the execution. I've mentioned so many times about the execution. I don't think you guys need to hear it anymore. The animation, I give it an 18 out of 20. It's the cinematography. I do admit that the animation got better, but the 18% is mostly for the cinematography, the direction of how they
The framing.
animated. Yeah, the framing. It's really good. The acting, I gave a perfect score. It's mostly because I really love the way that they embodied the characters. Of course, we have like the best ones, Rio, Yamato, Nagi. I also love Nagi's voice acting, and not because it's Egu, but I actually love the way that Egu did Nagi. But the
Yeah.
others
Are
as
you
well.
happy?
Are you? No, I'm not. And I like how parang whenever I hear that certain voice, I can see na it is that character. Parang ganon. It's not
Mm.
just like yung usual. Kasi may other voice acting, may other characters na parang if you hear the voice acting, it's just like the usual one. Like it fits the scene, pero it's what you
It's what you
hear.
expect.
Usual, yeah, it's what you'd expect. But like, I really love the way that they embody the characters. Soundtrack obviously is a perfect score for me. I can I can listen to it on repeat and will not
Like
get
you
tired.
love it so much. You love it so much. You've showed us the concert, even though you haven't shown us the anime, and you
You
showed it to us
know,
in 2018,
you
5 years
know
ago.
that you know that Brie is going through a hard time when you just hear IDOLiSH7 blaring from her room.
No, if you hear IDOLiSH7 on repeat, because I do listen
Mm.
to it casually, but like if you hear it on repeat, you know something's That's a sign. I just realized it this year, actually. I didn't even realize. Parang when I flash back into the past few years, I'm like, that makes sense. So overall, my score for third beat is pretty high. It's 98%. I had to make it high kasi yung overall rating ko would not be satisfying otherwise kasi ang baba ko magbigay nung first beat.
Nagulat nga din ako na nasa 89 yung akin eh. I was thinking it was gonna be about 90 at
Right?
least.
Ang overall rating ko for the entire anime of Idol. This is the anime, okay, not the game. 92%. Still low. I would have preferred if it's 94. My personal rating for it is 94. So, ang overall rating ng sidetrack is 90.3%.
Mm, okay.
I am
Satisfied with that.
I am not satisfied.
Because it's the overall for me personally is about 90.
I'm not satisfied. I want it to be 100. Joke lang. Pero before we end this episode, I just want to say I'm going to take this opportunity to say that I just want to thank all of the creators of IDOLiSH7
Mm.
for creating this franchise. You can see how much loved it is by the staff, by the cast, by everybody around. I Nana, even like the fans obviously. It's just such a beautiful relationship. It's a beautiful space to be in. And you can see like how warm everybody feels
Mm.
in it, even though it's fucking stressful as fuck. And I just want to take this opportunity to say, if you haven't watched Idol 7, I don't care if you don't want to play the game. Just watch the anime. Give it a chance. It's not just your idol anime. It's it's more than that. If you listen to the entire episodes, hindi mo pa din pinapanood yung anime. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. So, I am advertising this for the global fans. Baka lang magka-global na yung game.
Yun yung
Yun
reason
yung
bakit
reason ko.
pinopromote to.
May personal agenda pala siya.
If they release a global one, I would probably play it.
Yes. Me too. I would probably play it
Please.
too.
Alam ko ang daming may hesitations with idol games in Japan turning into globally. Pero
Mhm.
I do not care about your feelings. I care about mine. And I want this to be a global game. So, yun lang from me. Thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk.
With that said, this has been Side.
Track.
Always remember, some days wish will become the path.
Okay,
Bye!
bye.